So much has happened. The first, right? We're going to be the first of many. I think a lot of us might be the first to graduate, right? College. We might be some of the first to graduate high school, right? In the States. If you're someone who hasn't been setting these type of goals, it's time to do it now. It's time, respectfully, to be better than our parents, right? And our parents, they don't want nothing but for us to be better than them. So what are we waiting for? I'm just super excited to get into that today, and we're just gonna just dive in. Number one, it's about being the first, right? We're gonna be the first of many. I think a lot of us might be the first to graduate, right? College. We might be some of the first to graduate high school, right? In the States, and for that reason, I'm curious. I went into IT. And really, the only reason I went into IT was my dad, being the son of a preacher. I went to my dad and I told him I wanted to do film. And my dad was like, "Nah, that there's too much lawlessness. There's too much sin in doing film." And then he kind of came back to me, and he's like, "Listen, I hear people saying, computers. He doesn't, he didn't know the term IT. He's like, I hear people saying this computer thing has a future. And ever since then, it just kind of stuck with me. So, the words of a father inspires a son, let's just say that. And those words stuck with me. And I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and major in computers, And I can't say I've gone wrong with that. I definitely think it was the right direction. But at the same time, we just can't continue to limit ourselves. Like, all right, what else can we do? Can we really wrap our head around? Can we own the computer, right? Can we own the computer company, right? Not only just decide that we're going to work for somebody. What can we do to move the needle? And I think those conversations are so important, because I know that there's so many people that are looking to do something greater than what they're doing today. And I want to, number one, say, everyone that I ask, I'm like, all right, how did you start this? And how did you do that? And they're like, I just did it. And I'm just like, okay. So there's something there where it takes a bit of guts to just do something. And think about another first, that number one, you're probably the first in your family to make more money than your parents did, right? So when you think about you making more money, it's like, all right, what did we do? Like, our parents were able to take. Number one, they weren't educated in this system, so they didn't have the best of jobs. My mom's one of her first jobs was working at Duane Reade. That's a pharmacy out of New York. And then after that, she just worked, her kind of nursing assistant roles. And none of these roles were like super paying jobs. But with the money that they were making, my mom and my dad was able to buy a house in New York. That's nothing. Like, they're making nothing, and they were able to do those type of accomplishments. So I'm just trying to think here, we're making probably double, triple, if not more than what our parents were making. And what type of decisions have we made, right? I mean, do we already own property? If we don't own property, are we on the verge of owning property? Can we? Is our credit at a place where we can own property? Do we have enough money saved to put a deposit on a down payment on a house? And I think those things are so important. And if we don't, what are we waiting for? Really, 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 what are we waiting for to be able to accomplish, to be able to do? And I think it's important for us to have that kind of mindset, right? Like, our mindset needs to be on ownership. Our mindset needs to be on making moves strategically, right? So some people might be like, hey, I don't want to own. I don't mind renting. But as long as, if you're renting and you have X number of dollars saved up in your account, I mean, that's what's up. So I can't hate on you for renting. I'm just saying that we know that there's so much opportunity in ownership and owning your car, right? Not necessarily paying a car note forever. We know that there's opportunity in owning a house. So those are goals that we need to go ahead and start setting forth. Like, we can't sit there and be like, all right, it's all right not to set these goals and set these objectives. I think it's super important. If you're someone who hasn't been setting these type of goals, it's time to do it now. It's time, respectfully, to be better than our parents, right? And our parents, they don't want nothing but for us to be better than them. So what are we waiting for? Yeah, because, the one thing that I want to say is that because we're the first of our family to be and to do, first in our family to be a registered nurse, a first in our family to own a successful business, a first in our family to own several properties, the first in our family. So we're the first. Let's think about this, right? What type of first do you want to be, right? Because our parents, they sacrifice so much. They sacrifice so much for us, and it's time for us to start sacrificing for them, for us, for the ones to come.